Hello everyone and welcome to Dad's Garage Workshop. I'm Kenny Van Galder, and first thing I want to say is thank you so much for purchasing one of my shelves. It's an honor and a privilege for me to make something that you actually are going to hang up into your house. I very much appreciate it. My family appreciates it. It's a great process of how all this came together. I'll do that in another video one day. This video today is an installation video, and if you just happen to come across this video on YouTube and you watch it, you get through the whole thing and you like it, I will leave a link in the description below on how to purchase one of my shelves. And I'm actually going to do the installation on one of my walls today in my house in our guest bedroom, so you can see how the process goes. It's very simple, it's very easy, takes a few tools that everybody has around the house. So enough about that, let's get started. Thank you very much. Okay, first thing you're going to need is an impact drill with an extension bit. Anything shorter than the two that I have pictured here just won't work right. It'll make it a lot tougher to get that thing in there. You can also use a hand Phillips screwdriver as well, but it will definitely be harder to do, and you got to make sure it's at least 6 inches or longer or you will be cussing me. Next thing is a tape measure. It's optional if you know where it's going and you don't need to measure, but I always suggest go ahead and measure however you need to measure to get it exactly where you need it to be. Now, to get it exactly level, use a level. Try not to eyeball it, especially when you're installing multiple shelves. And as always, I suggest at least one of these screws that I supply go into a stud if at all possible. It's not required, but it always helps with the installation. Okay, just want to go through a really quick unboxing just so you can see how they come. Be prepared whenever you get it. What we have here is just your hardware. I've got it wrapped up in bubble wrap and packaged in a sandwich baggie. And yes, I'm struggling a little bit because we package really well. You can see the shelves are wrapped in a little bit of plastic wrap just to keep them safe. And each shelf is going to come with 3 each of these. And the first thing that we pull out is an anchor. You get 3 of those for each shelf, and they're rated at 75 pounds a piece. You also get the plugs. Those go in the pocket holes after you have placed them into the wall, and of course the screws, 3-inch truss screws, and that makes sure that if you get them in, they'll go in far enough and hold really well. I'm going to go ahead and unwrap these as well. This was an order for 2 shelves, and I have not shipped them yet, so I thought why not unbox them and I can just pack them back up again. You can see one solid piece of wood. See the wood grain? I wanted to show the wood grain and how they look. They're just beautiful pieces. I love the natural beauty of the wood. You got the pocket holes, you can see them there. They do not go through all the way because I want them to hold as much wood as possible when they go into the wall. But just a real quick unboxing to show you and let you know what you're getting and what you'll have as soon as you open that package. Okay, let's jump right into the installation. The first thing I'm going to do is find a stud. I always recommend at least one of the screws be in a stud. If it's not possible, that's okay. So we're finding the stud, and I want to put my center screw in here, so I'm going to make a mark on the wall for the center screw. Okay, once you get that center mark done, you're going to place your first anchor into that hole. Now this anchor is going to go into a stud, so it does take a lot of pressure to get it in there. You don't have to. If you get that center mark, you can just start installing your shelf there, but I wanted to show that it could be done with the anchor. You can see I nicked the wall a little bit. That's okay because the shelf will cover that up. Unless you're moving it, then you'll have to fix that later. Now that we have that center anchor into the wall, I'm going to put the first screw into the pocket hole and make it come through the back just about 1/4 to maybe 1/2 of an inch. Showing on the other side. You do not want to put it all the way through yet. Please don't do that. Just get it enough through there. I'll explain why here in just a second. You'll see where it comes into play, but I'm just pushing it through just a little bit. I'm going to lift it up and show you right there. That's all you need for it to come out. It's just to line it up with the center anchor once you get that screw through there. Now that you have the screw poking through just a little bit, you can see here the anchor, and I'm going to line it up with that. I'm showing just that it's come through just enough. And all you have to do is put it up there and just kind of press it into that anchor just a little bit. Get it level. You can see I'm leveling it here, and just put some good pressure on there and get it in there just tight enough. You don't want it too tight, you want it too loose. You'll see here after I get done that it'll have just a little bit of play in there. Okay, yeah, the play that I was talking about, you can see that I can tilt it just a little bit up and down. It'll move a lot more than that. And the reason why is so whenever we mark the holes, we can move the shelf out of the way. So the next step is to get that level on there. You can see me tilting it back and forth to get that bubble between the lines. If you've never used a level, it's as easy as that. Just keep tilting the shelf until that bubble is right between the lines. Now we're going to get that first mark on this side here. You can see me still kind of leveling it up. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put the screw in the hole and screw it in just enough to where it'll poke through the drywall, and then take it all the way completely back out. And that way, whenever you tilt the shelf, you'll be able to see the mark on the wall. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here, the pocket hole. I'm going to get the screw, place the screw in the pocket hole, drill it in just enough to poke a hole in the wall, and take it all the way back out. Please make sure you remove the screw all the way, because if you leave it in there and you tilt that shelf to put the anchor in the wall, it is going to scratch the wall. So please, whatever you do, take that screw right back out of the hole. And now I am going to tilt the shelf out of the way after I take that level off and show you there's the little mark in the wall. This is where you're going to put your anchor in. Now I'm going to tilt this shelf far enough out of the way that I have plenty of room to work. And now we're going to take the next anchor and place it into the wall. This one will go in a lot easier because it's just going into the drywall. You just need a little bit of pressure. Push it in and it'll screw right in. Just make sure you get it in there flush. Don't over tighten it, and try not to leave any spaces because that'll cause problems for you down the road. Gonna do the same thing over here, just tilt it down. You can see that I've got the hole there marked and ready to go. I'm just gonna put the next anchor in there, and these will all be level and lined up because you had your level on there whenever you poke these holes through the wall. Again, just make sure it's flush and don't over tighten it. Now I'm going to line that shelf back up with the anchors. You can put your level back up on there. That's what I do here. It helps with the placement of the screw. That way you just put the bubble back in between the lines, and then that's when you hold your shelf steady and place the screw in there and jam it in there. Get a lot of pressure on there. Just don't over tighten. Just put it in there until it's good and snug. Now that I got it in there, I just want to give it a little test, pull on it, make sure it's not sagging, make sure that it's nice and snug and ready to go. And just repeat the same process over here on the other side. You don't need the level anymore because you have two screws into the wall, so your last job here is to just get it in there snug. Hey, if you made it this far, you're almost done. All you have to do is put the 3 plugs in that you see here, and they are very simple. Just give them a little push in there. They're completely removable, and that way, if you need to take the shelf down one day, you just pop them out, undo the screws, and move it, and you just have 3 little holes to repair. And here's the final product. I threw some things on there that my wife has laying around in the room just to show for weight, and you can see it's snug up against there. There was nothing underneath there holding it up. Fairly easy installation. I hope this video helps. If you have any other suggestions or comments, just let me know.